Hey people, how we doing out there? It is Doc with you at ReadySetCrypto. Today is the 2nd of November. This is Fed Day, and the Fed has done an excellent job of dismembering the market in about the last hour or so. It's a bloodbath out there just about everywhere we're looking. So let's take a look and let's see who's on here today. I'm going to bring this over to the charts while I talk here. And if you could do us a favor as you check in today, go ahead and give us a thumbs up so you can let everybody else know that we're going. You can help defeat the algorithm, and then away we go, right? Also, let me know when you check in. Let me know where you're coming in from. Where's your location? And then we'll get into, pretty soon here, we'll get into your requests, okay? So give us a thumbs up. Check in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Doc. I am with ReadySetCrypto. We're going to be looking at your coins today and any other markets that you want us to look at. All right, we got, hey, there's Heinz. How you doing, Heinz? Good to see you. We got Nick from New Zealand. We have Matthias from Amsterdam. We have, I can't pronounce that. Egidius from Lithuania. I'm sorry. I apologize. I screwed that up. We have Florin Gabriel from Bucharest, Romania. We have Koob from the left coast. Koob checking in. All right. So, guys, let me start out by talking you through what I see happening in the markets today. Hey, Matador from Melbourne. That's good to see you here. So we still have the dollar index going higher. Let me get my pen going here so I can draw. All right, there we go. So the dollar index still is going higher, and this is going to put the hurt on crypto, because if we have crypto in the currency pair, right, crypto in the currency pair versus the US dollar, if the US dollar continues going higher like this, it's going to put more weight on that denominator, and it's even if crypto goes sideways, the whole pile goes down. Michael from Slovakia, man, we have got Eastern Europe cornered here today. All right, good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so the dollar index, as long as this goes higher, this is going to be a problem. And the problem is that Jerome Powell had a communication issue today, because the written statement was basically such that, hey, we're going to be adjusting things going forward based on the data. Or at least I'm paraphrasing to some degree, but that's basically what I read. And then they trot him out to do a press conference half an hour later. When he jumps on the microphone, he goes, oh, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. And that's not what the market wanted to see. I mean, the futures market in the U.S., let me show you what this looks like. This is pretty ugly. Okay, if I go at S&P 500, look at that big red candle here today. And you can see around the time that he started talking was right here, just like, bzz. So we went from 3,900 down to 3,770. That is a huge jump and does not bode well. Now, I get some good news and I get some bad news. The good news is that typically when, and this affects all risk markets, you can see that all of crypto's red on my watch list here. It's not too bad. The bleeding is actually not too bad. So the good news is that a lot of times when we have a negative day on Fed Day, we have a positive day and it begins a new rally. Positive day the next day and it begins a new rally. So we could potentially see something like that. However, we did not see that back in September. We sold off on Fed Day and kept on going into new lows. So let me catch up with you guys here. We got the Crypto Bureau from Gold Coast, Australia. Good morning out there. Rumble is greater than YouTube. Huh. Thank you, Mark. I've heard about that too. I've heard a little about Rumble. I have not looked at it yet, but I may check it out Wouldn't that be cool if we could split the stream and actually run Rumble and YouTube at the same time? Do you think that they raise rates in December 0.75? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll show you what they think about raising rates right now. So this is not me. This is the CME. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 14 December. So today we went 375 to 4. And what they're looking at, they're giving actually a 50% possibility of a full 100 basis points in December. Can you believe that? That is the Fed funds futures right now. Because right now we're 375 to 4. So 475 to 5 would be a 50% probability. So this would be 75 basis points, and this would be 125 basis points. Yuck. Any wonder that the market's selling down today? No question. All right, where did I put my... I just lost my charts. Let's see if I can find them again. I'll just go out to here. Okay. So that's what I see. That's what I see. Like 100 basis points. Are you serious? And they were hoping for 50 basis points in December. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. So Anchor, he looked really flustered that the market's reacting at his positive question. All right. Yeah. It's, I think it's time. I think what we're going to do, we're going to look back at this time in history and we're going to say, why do we have one person or one body of people that didn't know anything about financial markets trying to reactively respond to rate pressures and inflation? I mean, anybody, it's become politicized. It's become full of red tape. It's run by academics that have no real world experience. I'm not really a fan of academics, by the way. So even though they call me Doc, I more trust people that have real world market experience, that know what's going on, that understands what a free market truly is. Okay, so let's get into things. Guys, I want to know your pairs. I want to know what coins that you want to look at. I'm going to start out with the first couple here and see what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has had a pretty good week, and I think what we saw was the market priced in over the past week. The market was pricing in. When I say the market, I mean the entire risk market was pricing in probably the Fed starting to pull back from this insane hiking pace. And unfortunately, it looks like that may be incorrect. But so far, we have moved from consolidation up to a higher high. So that's a good start. So we can pull down a little bit if we pull into a higher low. And if it starts to move from there, that's all good. However, we may not be out of the woods yet. We may not be out of the woods yet. Let me go through a couple more as I get some of these set up for you guys. So Ethereum, we're selling down here in the last few minutes. You can see the reaction here. The reaction has not been good after the Fed meeting. That's not a surprise. Okay. Let's see. We had, and I can't explain this one. If anybody knows why Litecoin, which is the most boring asset over the last 5 years, but Litecoin used to be the bronze medal, right? We had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Litecoin was pulling in number 3 on the podium, right? And it has just completely disappeared off the map. So for some reason, people were bidding up Litecoin like nobody's business. So let me know if you know why that was happening. Otherwise, price tells you the entire story. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to start with clay versus US dollars. So we're going to go into, so guys, we'll, what is it, 10 after here? We'll go for another maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. By the bottom of the hour, we will finish up. We don't intend to make these things painful. We just want to do a quick little hit job and get in, smash the likes, and move on. So let's see, KLAY. Let's see what clay versus Tether. Let's do a Binance. Okay, so this is a daily chart. The daily chart does not look good, but there is some recent hope. This is the weekly chart. So the weekly chart has looked terrible for some time. Now we're starting to get some volume coming in over the last couple of weeks or so. So is this enough of a base? I would say no. I would say I don't want to do anything with this one until it gets above 50 cents or so. So to me, I think it needs to set up a base, consume, and build up energy until it's reached the point where the volume and the energy create a nice breakout above 50 cents. So that's what I'd like to see on clay. Okay, so let's see, Atom, and this is Cosmos. So Cosmos looks like it wanted to do, we wanted to get long on Cosmos here at 14, and it looks like it's rejecting that. So we are not long on Cosmos. This one's still, now this could still set up kind of a cup with handle pattern, but it's going to have to consolidate here, and it's not doing that today. It's just selling off. Just selling off as a lower high. So watch what happens over the next couple of days. EWT versus BTC. All right, let's try that. EWT versus BTC. And we'll do this on Kraken. Okay, technically, this is still an uptrend. We had a good couple of weeks here as Bitcoin was languishing and EWT was ripping. But since that point, we've had BTC driving up and EWT has not done anything. And so this is why this pair is still kind of range bound. So this, to me, looks like a rejection of a breakout attempt. So what would make me interested in getting long on this one is if this low holds and if it's able to drive above this level again. So about, what is that, 24,000. Matador, how do you see the markets, S&P, NASDAQ, crypto until the end of the year, if possible? Well, everything to me, let me go over to, I spend most of my time looking at the S&P. Okay, what's happening with the S&P right now? If we go out to a weekly chart, what's happening? Is this an uptrend or a downtrend? Uptrend or downtrend? We are still in a pretty serious downtrend. And a lot of people have been talking about a 2008 analog where we had a slight rally into August of 2008, and then the worst selling really got started there as multiple firms started to fail and we started to see credit markets lock up. So we're kind of in the position right now where this has got to, if we see continued selling tomorrow into this move, we could be starting on the next leg down. And the next leg down could be pretty serious as we get into the end of the year. So that's one potential. So I talked about three different possibilities for this market here. I talked about us setting up a flag and then leading to the next leg lower. The other possibility that I saw was the price pulling up to this descending trend line at about 4,100 and then setting up the next leg lower. So 2 out of 3 of these are the next leg lower. And then the only possibility for upper would be a rally starting tomorrow up to that trend line, drifting down into a higher low, and then a breakout from there. So I've got 2 scenarios to the downside, and all risk markets will follow each other to the downside. And that includes crypto as well, too, if that occurs. Again, I'm not in the business of making predictions. All I'm doing is I'm setting up the framework for me to make decisions based on what happens. I used to think I could make predictions based on TA. You cannot do that. It doesn't work because what happens is there's always some exogenous data point which comes in, which upsets the apple cart, which nobody can predict. So all you can do is you can control how you act based on what the price does. That's what I recommend doing. So I've got 2 out of 3 scenarios heading to the downside. And right now I don't have a dog in the hunt, the expression goes. So whatever happens, happens. Okay, let me keep going here. RNDR versus the US dollar. RNDR. How's everybody doing out there? Ooh, okay. All right, this is render token. So render token, this is not a very liquid chart. I can just look at this. This is not a very liquid asset, at least on Binance. Just the way that it trades, it gaps around a lot, and it has a lot of long, it doesn't have very, very consistent volume. It has a lot of these candles where it starts off moving, then it gets faded back again. So right now, this is in the process of building out a base, and I would say that base is somewhere in this area here. So I would be patient on render token for this one to build out the base before the breakout. Okay, Florian is looking for BNB versus BTC. All right. BNB versus BTC. There we go. We're going to go. Oh, and this looks really good, doesn't it? Wow. That's a nice looking pair. Because Binance coin has generally been pretty strong lately. And if Bitcoin can't get anywhere, this one looks pretty good. All right, let me take another look here. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks really good. Now we're going to bring in the RSI Laguerre. We're going to see how much energy. There's a lot of energy at the weekly chart. That looks great. Now the daily chart is in exhaustion. What I would expect to see here is I would expect to see this consolidate before the next breakout. So this will happen if Binance coin maintains its strength and if Bitcoin shows weakness, relative weakness in the near term. Okay. All right. So that's a cool pair there. Okay. Jassy, H bar versus US dollar. We'll use Tether. Okay, so here's another one that needs a bit of time. Now the volume is starting to come in on this. The volume is starting to come in. Notice this volume here. So that's good. But I think you'll recognize now that it's still running in this kind of long horizontal base. It's setting up. It's almost like if you're building a house, you want to dig a footer and put a foundation in and let that dry before you start building the wood stuff on top of it, right? So it's doing the same thing. It's building a base, is what we call it, building a foundation for further price gains. So this one is not ready yet. And so I would just keep watching it and look for a breakout level as it breaks above there. So that's H bar versus US dollar. Robert checking in from Slovenia. Here it's a beautiful country. Okay, OP, optimism, OP versus Tether. Let's do that one. Okay, we have a pretty nasty downtrend in the weekly chart. Pretty nasty downtrend. Now, we do have a higher low here. If this is able to break above here, this could be the beginning of, something cool. This could be the beginning of something really good. So, but for right now, this is in a weekly downtrend, so I'd be very careful with this one. Salut, Florine. Heinz, I don't know what Crypto Bureau Guy Turner means. I can't look up that coin. All right, the Grim Reaper wants to look up Litecoin versus Tether. And so we'll look up Litecoin versus, we can do Tether. So this is kind of the same thing that we're looking at versus the US dollar. So this is building a base. This is base building 101. Base building 101. And I'm looking for a breakout above 68. Looking for a breakout above 68. So it can do whatever it wants to as long as it's cooking in there. It's kind of like a pressure cooker. You seal the lid, you add the heat, right? So it's, at some point, there's a little blow-off valve that eventually hits, right? A little blow-off valve, all that pressure builds up, and you see the thing just blow out of that. It's almost like a launch, right? It's like a Falcon 9 breaking out of our base. So you just have to wait for it. Got to wait for it. Okay, Nicholas, Algo. Nicholas, Algo. Algorand. What do you think I'm going to say about this one? Same thing. I'm seeing everywhere. I'm seeing a base in crypto for some of the decent coins. Even some of the ones that have not been doing well, like Cardano, are building a base. So this is building a base. You got to wait until this gets above like 44 cents before you can jump on board this one. Let me show you. Cardano is doing kind of the same thing, although it's even uglier. That's ugly. It's still working down. So there's no such thing as a base, which is breaking below the base. So that one's failed. Dogecoin. What's going on with Dogecoin? Excuse me. So what you do not want to do with Dogecoin is chase after these things. Like, this is the bright, shiny penny, right? This is like a dog chasing after parked cars. It's not going to end well. So whenever you see any kind of a coin making a move like this, do not chase after them. Let them consolidate. Wait for the pullbacks. Just like QNT. We watched QNT in here a couple of weeks ago. And QNT, where are you? QNT did the same thing, went ripping, and the people that chased after it are bleeding out right now. So when this thing ripped, I was like, okay, great coin, but now we have to wait until it gets down to here before we can buy it. Always wait, never chase. Okay, does anybody have anything else here? Anybody else have a coin that you want to look at? So noted, Matador, thank you. I like those too. Those are great. Okay, I think we are done here today. So thanks everybody for joining us with ReadySetCrypto, our live segment here as we go over coin reviews and check everybody in and touch base with you guys. Oh, all right. One last one here, Near Protocol. And I think this one looks not so good, but I'll just do this one real quick here. Yeah, this one is just like Cardano's, not looking very good. So thanks, everybody. You guys take care. I'll see you guys in a week. Otherwise, please check out our services, which are in the description below. ReadySetCrypto, ReadySet.trade, ReadySetVision. We have all kinds of free ways to interact with us. So join us, be part of our tribe, and join the crew. All right. You guys take care. I'll see you soon. Bye now.